Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario. In this episode, the first thing we're going to get to do is actually hit a block that is kind of satisfying, oddly enough, and we get another one to hit right here, and that is actually a bigger block. And speaking of big blocks, here is an iron, or what looks to be like an iron block, and if we hit it, watch what Mario does. He does sort of like a little shimmy thing, and you'll also notice that if we try and break this, it doesn't break, and there's also nothing in this bush over here. The reason that isn't breaking is because we don't have the correct hammer to actually destroy it right now, and I find it kind of funny how they have that kind of block right here at the beginning of the game, just to let you know that later on in the game, you're going to have to come back. And up here, there is a fire flower, which we can actually look at our items menu by pressing left on the control stick on the GameCube. I imagine it would be left on the C buttons on the Nintendo 64 controller, but that fire flower, I'm not really sure how useful it is, and I'll explain that later. But also, speaking of the C stick, I figured out if you press up on the C stick, you can actually bring up that menu right there. Now, we are kind of low on HP, but luckily we will be getting back to the town in just a second. But Goomba, or Goompa here, is telling us about first strikes. And by the way, guys, I know I was reading dialogue a lot in the past 2 episodes or something like that, but if it's not anything to do with the story in particular, I probably won't be reading it too much, but I will be explaining what they are talking about. Now, Goomba was telling us about the first strike ability, and now that we have the hammer, we can use it on the, battle screen, not the battle screen, but like on the main screen here without being in a battle, I guess would be the best way to describe that. And we can actually hit Goombas or whatever the enemy is on the actual, world map or whatever. It's not really, I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but you can get first strikes on enemies, which will allow you basically to get in some damage before the enemy is allowed to attack you, and that isn't too important right now, I guess, but it can be important later on. Now, here we have a spiked Goomba, and you don't want to jump on the spiked Goombas. By the way, I probably should have jumped on the first Goomba to show you that you can't actually do that, but there are a couple of ways of getting first strikes. You can jump or, hit them with your hammer as of right now. Obviously, like I said, we don't want to jump on the spiked Goomba, so let me go ahead and hit him with my hammer. The cool thing about this area right here is that it shows you pretty much every different way, or not every different way, but a lot of different ways that battles can start, and a couple of different enemy types. And speaking of enemy types, they are all Goombas at this point on this part of the map right here. It's kind of funny that we are using, or we have Goomba kind of in our party. He's not really actively participating in our party right now. I just find it kind of funny that he's advising us on how to attack different enemies of his own species, I guess I'm trying to say here. The good thing about the first strike ability, though, or the first strike, mechanism in this game, is that it does allow you to take out enemies a little bit quicker, and in these early fights especially, that can be kind of useful because 1 HP might not sound like a lot, but look how low we are right now. We're at 3 HP. I'm not really sure why we're so low. It must be from that fight we had with, I already forgot his name. It was like Master Junior Koopa Troopa or something like that. And I'm not, by the way, not going to be showing every single fight in the game because, that would just kind of get obnoxious. Just like in Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII and Super Mario RPG, I've done a lot of RPGs. I just realized. I didn't actually realize that up until just right now. I'm not going to show every fight, but if we get into a fight with a new enemy or just an enemy that there's something special about him or whatever, I will definitely be showing you guys those fights. Now, up here we have a star piece, which is our first. I didn't mean to skip that. I was actually going to read that. But that is our first star piece, and those can be used at a shop, I believe, later on, but much later on, and we won't be getting to that for quite a few episodes. So, also, by the way, I thought I should mention that I really like this turning visual right here. I don't know why, I just always thought it was kind of cool how the camera turns with you. That's probably something like petty to like, but I don't know why. I just always thought it was kind of a cool touch. Over here, though, we are finally back to Goomba Village, and we are, reassuring our grandchildren here that we are okay. Now, if we tried to come over here without getting the hammer, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure why this is locked, because he says, oh, it's locked, let me open it up for you. I don't think you can ever get here without Goomba with you in the first place, so I guess that's just, it just happens that way, I guess. Goomba, where have you been? I looked outside and wow, both you and the veranda were just plain gone. Goomba, I was very, very worried about you. Really worried. Sorry, kids, I apologize. I didn't mean to make you fret. You just take it easy now. I'm back safe and sound. And no thanks for me. I have realized that. Thank you, Goomba, for acknowledging my help. Now, before I forget, I've decided to give you something, Mario. Wait here a minute. What could you possibly give me that could help me at this point that you didn't have before that would help me in the fights? I guess it would be, you know, in his house. He probably wouldn't have had it with him. But also they realize at this point that we have that doll that we found in that tree, and apparently that was actually Goombaria's. I believe that's her name. I'm not sure what happens if you click no, but I imagine that it just goes through a cycle of going back through text until you actually click yes. But if it doesn't, I don't want to take that chance, because if you give the doll back to her, you actually get another star piece, which is actually, I'm not sure if that's really all that good of a trade, because the dolly is probably a one-of-a-kind type of item, and Mario just had a shiver attack again, I'm guessing from that kiss right there. But yeah, I'm not sure if that star piece is that important as of right now. By the way, guys, if you guys browse Reddit, you will have seen "Do You Even Lift" all over the place, and it's taking every ounce of my effort not to point out the "Do You Work Out" line that people have actually taken from this game and turned it into the "Do You Even Lift" line. I don't know how that even became a popular meme or whatever, but I don't know, that's just what it reminded me of right there. By the way, she is telling us about his head bonk attack, which at the first time through this game, I was like, why? I don't really need to know about your attacks. But now I can see that there are kind of foreshadowing that one of these characters is going to be becoming a part of our party here. It's okay, Goomba, we're just rapping with Mario. Oh, rapping, huh? Sorry, I wanted to give this to Mario. And we get the power jump badge, which is actually pretty useful coming up. It's called a badge, and he's going to go into a little bit of a tutorial here. I don't really need this tutorial. It's pretty easy. I don't really know why they decided to put a tutorial for this in there. And they're also talking about HP and FP. Pretty basic stuff, especially since Paper Mario is a very basic RPG in the first place. Now, I believe we're going to be getting to the end of this little bit of dialogue here pretty soon, but we are going to be getting Goombario in our party, and I'm not sure why. Did they take back my hammer? I didn't even realize. I thought Goombario just said, or Goomba said to, you know, take the hammer back. I never realized him taking it in the first place. Oh, here's an idea, Goombario. This is what I was talking about. Perhaps the timing is perfect. You are no longer a child, and evil times are upon us. I'm sure Mario will agree. You should accompany Mario. What? Really? May I go, Goomba? May I really go? I think it's really up to me more than Goomba. Mario, you won't regret this. And Goombario has joined our party. He's kind of important a little bit, I guess. He kind of reminds me of Mallow in the first game, in that he's only useful at the beginning of the game because he is your first party member, but not really useful later in the game when you actually get better party members. And I'll be talking about party members a little bit later on. Actually, in just a second, as soon as these guys stop talking. That should probably be it right there, right? Of course not. This is so cool, Mario. Let's go. But wait, your HP looks a little low. Maybe you ought to take a rest at the Toad House. And we will do just that, because there are a couple of fights coming up, and I would hate to die this early in the game, but the Toad Houses in this game act just like inns, and I think there are probably inns later on in the game. I'm not sure where Goombario went. It looked like to me that he jumped in one of those cabinets back there. I guess that's where he sleeps. But yeah, this is where you can refill your HP and FP and all that kind of stuff. And you probably do want to do that right now of all times. If only because, first of all, it's free. And second of all, like I said, there are going to be some hard enemies coming up. And because, well, not really hard, but if you're low on HP, it could be kind of hard. So I recommend saving as well. But now we have the hammer and we can break this yellow block. There we go, problem solved. I have a feeling your road will be lined with difficulty, so try not to overdo it. Be careful, be watchful, yet stay cool. A calm mind is the wisest. Oh, hang on now, Mario. I notice you aren't wearing the badge Goomba gave you. You know that badge won't do anything if you don't wear it. I think you'd better put that thing on before you go. I actually did forget about that, funnily enough. Maybe I should have watched the tutorial, but we can actually equip the power jump badge, and over there you can see that there is BP. BP is sort of a mechanism in this game that is kind of like, if you watch the Kingdom Hearts Let's Play, it's kind of like the ability points, the AP, because there are only a certain amount of BP that you will have available, which means you can only equip a certain amount of badges at one time, and I hope we get a level up in this episode, because there is a couple of things that you need to know about leveling up and BP as well. Now, if we try to examine this sign, the Goomba will jump off, and by the way, I forgot what the thing is called, the spin dash, or whatever this is called right here. That is actually a pretty good technique for evading enemies. Sometimes if you try and run by, it won't exactly work, and if you want to get by enemies without too much of a problem, you might want to use that spin dash. But Goombario has an ability where he can use it's called Tattle, and I'm not sure exactly, but I believe that if you examine an enemy, that enemy will always have its HP bar under it for the rest of the game. As far as I know, it has been quite a while since I played this game, so I'm not entirely sure, but I can imagine that that is how it works. But as far as avoiding the enemies on the overworld screen or whatever, I will be trying to do that. I'll probably be trying to grind a little bit at the beginning and cutting out the fights, but later on in the game, it's really not that important to grind in this game, in my opinion, so I will definitely be cutting out those fights, and especially probably right now, probably after this fight, I'll be cutting out the fights that we don't entirely need, because there are some boss fights coming up that I want to show in this episode. Now, luckily, the enemies sometimes drop hearts, which is important, especially right now, because we're going to be getting farther away from that Toad house or Toad Inn or whatever, and I don't want to use that mushroom if I can help it at all, and these go away as soon as you use them, so it might be a good idea to actually wait until you're a little bit lower on HP, but I'm just going to go ahead and get it now. I want to see if maybe if I go off the screen and come back to the screen, if it'll be there again. Yeah, it is, so I guess you might as well use it as soon as you get to it. But up here, we are going to be having our first boss fight, kind of, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Aha, you're Mario! I knew it! You can't go past here, Mr. Big Shot! It's a direct order from the Goomba King, that's right! I'm sorry, but the only way by is through the Goomba Bros. That's me, Red Goomba, and my brother Blue Goomba. Let's get him, Blue Goomba! Oh yeah, let's do it, my red brother! I always felt that they should have, like, different names for, like, I can understand them being called Red Goomba and Blue Goomba, but for them to call each other that, it just seemed kind of weird to me. Now, this is where you're going to want to be using your power jump probably for the first time, especially on the Blue Goomba at first. What I like to do is go ahead and take out the Blue Goomba, because the Blue Goomba is actually the weaker of the two, and they think they're all big, bad, and strong, but they only do 1 damage, just like any other Goomba. Now, the Blue Goomba we've done 4 damage to right now, I believe, and he only has 6, I believe, so we only need to use 1 power jump, and then we just use regular attacks to take care of him, and the reason that is important is because you definitely don't want to be wasting your FP as of right now. Blue Goomba! Gah, my little brother, you'll pay for that, Mario! I really doubt that somehow, even though the Red Goomba is a little bit stronger than the Blue Goomba, he's really not all that hard either, and when I said that this is the first boss fight in the game, it's not technically, I guess. We have fought Bowser, we fought the Koopa brother, or not a Koopa brother, I don't even remember what it was. It was like the Baby Goomba, or whatever it was. Those were kind of unlosable, or, okay, let me explain it like this. The Bowser fight was unwinnable, the Koopa Troopa fight was unlosable. This one could go either way, you can definitely lose here, but if you have the FP, or the badge jump, or the super jump, power jump, whatever it's called, you'll probably win. And I believe since we're going to be getting into another boss fight coming up, I think we'll have no trouble leveling up in this episode. Yeah, I'll let you go for now. And they went without too much of a word. I thought they were going to be a little bit more, regretful about losing than that. Luckily, this game has a whole lot of save points all over the place, which, like I said, is lucky because we are going to be getting into yet another boss fight up here. Now, you guys remember we picked that mushroom up off of the sign back there. Let's go ahead and try and do that again right now, shall we? Not entirely the same mechanism this time, it turns into a Goomba, so try to avoid that if you don't want to get into a fight. King Goomba, help us! Mario beat us up! Hey, look, Mario, see that building over there? Oh, you mean the huge one that's taking up like half of the screen? I'm pretty sure there used to be a bridge on the other side. I wonder what happened to it. So, Mario, it's true. You've made it this far. I respect you for that. Unfortunately, this is as far as you'll ever get. Because I, the great and powerful King Goomba, will see to it that you advance no farther. You hear that, Mario? No farther, not one step. Are you scared, little man? Bah! Yeah, you're scared, alright. You want to say you're sorry? Wow, that King Goomba is really huge. I wonder what allows King Goomba to get really big and not the other two or Goombario here. Ready to beat my math? Apparently we're going to have to be doing math problems here as we, fight King Goomba. I can't remember, he has another name, but I can't really remember what it is. I could use Tattle right now, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Now, the thing is, for this fight, Goombario says that we need to take out the Goomba brothers back there first. We could do that, or we can actually attack the Goomnut tree back here, and you'll see exactly why that's helpful. That takes out the two Goomba brothers and almost all of the Goomba King's HP here. Now that reminds me, the fact that I made the Goomba nut fall out of the tree, that I forgot to go get there's a Goomba nut in Goomba Village that I will go back for after this fight is over, but I felt like I didn't know exactly how much HP he has, or I don't right now know how much HP he has left, so I decided just to use a mushroom there because I definitely don't want to die. And the fact that he uses that attack right there where the Goomba nuts fall down, if you didn't know that the Goomba tree, or the Goomnut tree or whatever, drops King... What am I talking about? If you didn't know that the tree would drop those nuts, the fact that he uses that attack should probably clue you in a little bit, but I can't imagine that he has any more than just, like, I'm gonna guess, after we use this head bonk, he'll have one more. Man, apparently my math skills, I did say we were going to be doing a little bit of math, my math skills seem to be up to par here, and we haven't leveled up yet, I guess because I haven't fought enough random battles yet. What? How could I lose? Yeah, I knew we could do it. Cool. Victory! And we get a thumbs up from Mario there. If we go examine this door, we can talk, not really talk, we can eavesdrop on the Goomba King. Red Goomba, you're positive that you hit the switch well, right? Of course, King Goomba. I hid it in the grass outside the fortress. Outside? You idiot! You didn't hide it in here? Mario will find it for sure. Oh, do you think? You might be right. King Goomba, maybe we ought to try to trick Mario before he tries to... We're not going to be tricked by that, guys. All we have to do is examine this little bush over here and jump what appears to be a brother of the, like, Switch Palace switches from Super Mario World. Mario, good fight and all that. I must warn you, however, if you happen to find a strange switch somewhere, you should definitely not press it. It's dangerous, understand? You what? You already pressed it? Look, the bridge! Now we can cross it and continue our journey, alright! Now, if that is not handy castle design right there, I don't know what is, because that just happened to spring right in the exact pattern and length that we needed it to. But back here we have a star piece, and I want to meet you guys back in Goomba Village, because I forgot to get an item back there that I want to get before I end this episode, so we can continue on with our journey in the next episode. Alright guys, back here in Goomba Village, I forgot about the fact that if you hit this tree back here, you will get a Goom Nut, which is apparently a special nut only found in Goomba Village, which restores 3 FP, and I remembered that because the Goom Nut Village, or nuts, I thought those were what we were getting, or knocking out of those trees when we were fighting King Goomba, but apparently not. So let me go ahead and get back over there to the area where we were at. I will take care of these guys, and if we happen to get a level up off camera, I will definitely be showing you guys that. Now, unfortunately, we didn't level up. That also might be because I tried to dodge every one of the enemies that was in my way, but fortunately, when we defeated that King Goomba and pressed that switch, we got this convenient bridge across the area here. Now, if there's a save spot, unfortunately there is no save spot, but I wanted to go ahead and end the episode here unless there's something back here. Yeah, I thought there was going to be something, and you know, that's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys noticed that slowdown. You would think I might be using an emulator. Get that, Mario? Thank goodness. We got a Super Shroom there, and I'll be explaining that. Actually, might as well just explain it now. A Super Shroom restores your HP by 2, but you might have noticed that slowdown. I'm actually not using an emulator, I'm using the virtual console, so I'm surprised that happened, but I want to thank you guys for watching episode 3 of Let's Play Paper Mario. In the next episode, we will be going through here and seeing, apparently we're going right now, guys. Forget ending the episode, we're doing it right now. I wonder what Kammy Koopa has to say, apparently nothing right now. So I didn't mean to do that, guys, but we're going to be getting a little bit of a cutscene here, I guess. Mighty King Bowser, I've been looking for you. A report, your evilness. Mario defeated the Goomba King. He's heading for Toad Town now. What? Unbelievable. What was Goomba King thinking? I used the Star Rod to make him a king because he begged me. And Mario whips him so easily? What a wimp. Kammy Koopa, you are sure that Mario can never defeat us, right? Please, please, your vileness, try to be calm. Goomba King is small time. I had a feeling he'd fail. It doesn't matter, because while you hold the Star Rod, you are definitely invincible. You can beat Mario with one claw tied behind your back. Yes, yes, very good. Wahaha! By the way, Kammy Koopa, those star spirits we captured don't have any way of giving Mario their power, do they? Please, don't worry yourself. Each is held separately, and each is carefully guarded by your handpicked subjects. Even Mario can't save all 7 of the star spirits. Well, we've done it before. Who's the closest star spirit to Mario? It's that one in Koopa Bros Fortress, right? If Mario somehow reaches there, can the Koopa Bros defeat him? King Bowser, you mustn't worry. Hi-ya! Here comes the Koopa Bros. Oh yeah, we're the coolest of cool. And definitely not a ripoff of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there. Psst, Kammy Koopa, are you sure these guys can get the job done? That Goomba King was gigantic and even he couldn't beat Mario. Pshaw, get real, King Bowser. Yeah, the Goomba King was huge, but he was a total Wimpola. We're nothing like him. See, what we've got going on is the power of teamwork. Together, we can put the hurt on Mario in seconds flat. Excellent, that's the spirit. Sell it, Koopa Bros. Show your king that special attack you do so well. Yes, ma'am. And these guys also remind me of the Ginyu Force, actually, from Dragon Ball Z. Oh! How'd you like it? King Bowser, how was it? Oh yeah, excellent, really! I'm not easily impressed either. Mario won't have a chance if you finish him with that attack. We'll take him, King Bowser. By the way, my Koopa Bros, about the captured Star Spirit I've locked up in your fortress. Who's guarding him right now? Nobody, sir. You know we're here and so... You idiots! Use your heads! Get back to the fortress and guard that Star Spirit! That was the most classic of sound effects I think I have ever heard, running off the screen like that. But actually, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode now. I tried to end it a second ago, but Bowser, the Koopa Bros, and Kammy Koopa got a little bit ahead of themselves and decided to have themselves a little bit of a cutscene. But for the final time in this episode, I want to thank you guys for watching episode 3 of Let's Play Paper Mario, and in the next episode, we will be getting to and possibly beating the Koopa Bros Fortress. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.